on 4%, so hopefully this lasts long enough for me to say what I want to say. I got this beautiful bed sheet from Goodwill, of all places, and I love the pattern. We're gonna make a corset out of this, and hopefully it goes to plan. Because, like, honestly, I'd wear a shirt or I'd wear a dress made out of this fabric too. I just love the vibe. That's what we're doing today. Come along on the journey. And just so we're all on the same page, this is the pattern that I'm using. It's a simplicity pattern. This is not my first rodeo with a corset, so I have that skill at least under my belt. Without further ado, let's get into pinning the pattern pieces that I need onto my sheet, and we'll go from there. Wowza, do I look a little rough in this clip, but we're going with it. So for the lining of this project, I have another sheet. I really did raid the sheet section at Goodwill for this project. I think that these two fabrics go together really well. They don't necessarily have like the same colors in them. I guess a little bit like there, but I feel like they're at least complementary colors. So this is going to be the lining for this corset. Let's continue before the sun goes down the rest of the way. On the gusset situation, I hate gussets, okay? Because I've seam ripped this and I still hate it. If you don't know what a gusset is, it's like it's the cup part. It just gives the finished piece more shape, but it's literally the devil to try and put on because what the heck. I mean, it looks decent, but I hate this bottom part, and you can see where I had to seam rip a couple of times actually. But I think I finally got a technique down, and it actually worked way better when I didn't try to pin it. So let me show you what I did. So basically, I have my slit cut, and now I have to go down to these two areas here. You want to cut down to those dots. These are all areas that were marked out on the original pattern piece. You're gonna take your gusset piece, and the top, like the wide part goes at the top. So you're gonna line up the right sides together, sew down this line, stop your needle in the fabric here, pivot, and then it's gonna sew along the bottom, and then you're gonna sew along the other side. But instead of pinning, it works much better if you just sew, pivot, sew, pivot, sew, if that makes sense. Yeah, see, this turned out janky as heck. Like, look at this. I think it's where it bunched up right here, and I wasn't expecting it to, so when I pivoted, it like bunched all this fabric right here and like made it awful. So, oh, look at that, more seam ripping I'm gonna have to do. You know, the first one doesn't look that bad in comparison to this one, but the first attempt on the first one I didn't show y'all because it was that bad, so. Okay, update that was much better. I like this one even better than the first one. Technically, if you look really closely here, I feel like it could fray because it technically didn't get that corner. But I have an idea and I'm going to make it work. I'm gonna like maybe put down some embroidery type stitches along here. Yeah, there's a mistake there, but I'm gonna try and hide it. Hi, hello there. Another day, another outside update. I've done a few things off camera, and just to update you, I'm just gonna show you what I've done. I've put all the pieces together. So all the pieces are together, including the straps on both the actual piece and the lining piece. Technically, my next step is to sew the two together and then bias tape the edges, but I wanted to add some little fun details to the front. So as you can see, I've done some top stitching. I don't know if you can see really well, but I did, my sewing machine has like a setting to do a fancy stitch, so I did a fancy stitch, and then I also did one that's closer, and this is what it looks like on the back side. It just kind of pins it down, helps it be more secure. And I also had this sparkly embroidery floss from a previous project, and so what I'm doing now is just going around and adding little accent details, because I feel like the color of this embroidery floss goes really well with the kind of orange rust color details that are in this fabric. I really like how that turned out. I think it's really cute, and it adds like an extra flair, an extra, you know, design element to it. That's what I'm working on right now. So yeah, come along with me, I guess. Okay, so I'm finally finished, like a month later. I was not expecting that project to take so long, but here we are. The reason why it took so long is because there was so much seam ripping involved. Like the bias tape along the edges, I thought that was going to be the end of my sewing career because I was like, I can't do this anymore. And also the eyelet situation, I thought that was going to take me out too, because originally I had all the eyelets I needed except for 2. So can you imagine my frustration when I then had to go to 3 different stores trying to find the original eyelets that I used, only to like end up taking out all my old eyelets to put in new ones that were all consistent. Yeah, I thought I was gonna lose it. And then when I tried it on at the end, it was too big, which, you know, I'm good. I'm good with it being too big because I can always take it in, but if it's too small, it's really hard to like add on to it. So I had to like take up the straps, had to like add a different eyelet higher up on the straps, and then on the sides where I had originally done all these cute little details, I had to sew it again to make it smaller on the sides as well. So I had to take it in multiple areas, but overall I think the fit is still okay. It's not perfect, but hey, I've said it before, I'll say it again, perfection is not the goal. I had fun, I learned while I was making it, and now I have a cute little outfit for future Renaissance fairs, which is great because I've never dressed up for Renaissance fairs. Okay, so I moved because a wasp fell onto my head at the other location. Love wasps. Not really, I'm joking. Hopefully you enjoyed watching. This was kind of, again, different than my book content, but I realized the other day that I haven't posted a video for like almost 40 days, which was not intentional. It just feels like life got really busy. So I'm really sorry about my long absence. I have more book videos coming very soon. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever other time of day it is for you today. I will see you again very soon, hopefully sooner than 40 days. Catch you guys next time. See you later. Bye.